What's up, y'all? I'm Sheila J, and welcome to the Diva Dish. This episode is all about Married to Medicine Season 8. We're at Reunion Part 2. Part 1 was pretty good. We got Scott and Contessa still at the center of this season with all their issues. It trumped Jackie and Simone's issues, Toya Heavenly's issue, Toya and Anila's issues. Red had issues, child, but not bigger than theirs. So let's jump into it. So the episode opens up. Andy's like, have you filed anything? And so Contessa's like, my friends, they know what's going on. And, I appreciate them for not saying anything. Spill it. Quad was like, if I may. Eugene was like, you please don't say nothing. Quad is like, who is clearly Contessa's translator. Yes, she's filed for separation, and it, jumps back to Scott Child. He's like acting in front of the guys like he don't know what's going on. He's like, I don't understand this. How she gonna tell Quad something she ain't told me? Rah, rah, rah. Cash money talking, popping them gums, child. Then, he's making his way, or what we thought him coming to stage. No, child. Scott is getting his things, gathering his things, because he's like, either I'm going to do this or I'm out. And I'm out, baby. Going to get garment bags, leaving, okay? Curtis and Cecil were like, whoa, bruh, okay? You want to be able to tell your side, all the things that are the reasons why you think they're the issues, because if you don't state your point, people are just going to see you as a coward, and this is America looking, okay? Cecil's like, dude, you gotta, you can't run from this. You gotta face it. So they charge the stage, and, Contessa's crying. They're talking about Scott. Andy's like, the guys are charging the stage. She's like, that's cool. Tell them to come on. So Scott comes up. He's like, what's up? You gonna tell, Quad something you ain't told me? And then, Quad is like, she's been trying to tell you, tell us why. Why'd you really go to school, Contessa? Why did you? I went to school because I was, thought I was giving him a break. Giving him time. Time to what? A break? I thought she was trying to position herself to be the next Surgeon General, child. A break? Time spent away, if it's not clarified as we're spending the time away to work through our things, it's just you gone. And because there wasn't a nanny there or anything, and I'm pretty sure it was probably a little passive aggressive. You were probably, regular woman thing, tired of being superwoman, doing everything. I know they've been there, done that, been burnt out. And you're like, well, I'm going to leave him here. Let him do it. Let him fend for himself, hoping that he would be like, oh my God, I need you here. And instead, he grew resentful. Clearly, there were some issues before then, too. Use your words. Tell him what you're feeling. Clearly, he's not going to tell you because this whole episode, this whole season, really, Scott has been pressed. He does not like the fact that his business is out there. He does not like the fact that people are seeing him as bad, which is what I really think it's at the crux of both of their issues. I don't think either one of them really wants to be with each other anymore, but neither one of them wants to look like the bad guy, okay? Scott comes on stage. He's like, what's this, So evidently he thought they were talking about divorce when Quad said clear as day separation. So then he goes into acting mode. Action. What's the difference? So at this point, Andy was like, when were you served the separation papers since you knew about this? About 6 months ago? 6 months ago? Why does it always seem like it's the first time y'all are having these conversations on camera in front of people? Like, Andy was like, is it just me, or does Scott seem blindsided by what Contessa's saying, what Contessa's doing? Why does it always seems like it's a surprise? Why? So basically, at the crux of the issue today on this reunion with Contessa is one that I can, I feel her. She said, you can't talk crazy to me and expect me to still love you, okay? You can't make me feel less than, demoralized, not a woman, not sexy, not desirable, not smart. You can't make me feel these ways. Even though nobody can make you feel anything, it's still your choice at the end of the day. Because no one's in your brain telling you must do this because they said so. Where's the counselor? Like, to the point, Simone asked Scott, like, what's the one thing your wife wants? I don't know, tell me. And then Contessa looked at him like, we've been married 16 years. You don't know? But here's the thing. This must be what you do all the time because he's not a mind reader, okay? Y'all too old for this. So yeah, so Toya's like, you know what, Scott? It really looks like your wife really wants to save your marriage. But it looks like you really don't know. Are you faithful in your marriage? Pause. Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So then Heavenly goes in. She's like, you know, Scott, why are there so many rumors? Good question. It just all seems so, because I mean, Anila's husband was like, it sounds like they're talking in riddles. I agree. And can we stop here? How about Anila's husband was casket sharp, child? In that blue linen tweed mix, whatever it was, child. Sharp. Okay. So, you know, Contessa's carrying on and Andy's like, what is it? What is it that's so bad? Contessa's like, you know, I grew up in a volatile household. I did not want to live in one my adult life and definitely didn't want my children, you know, to grow up the same way I did. And Scott was like, so did I. You know, patterns, they're hard to change. You got neuroplastic neurons in your brain that are just used to going that way. That's why sometimes when you're driving home or you're driving somewhere else, you're thinking about something else, you're at home. How? Those neural pathways, they don't need your attention to work. That's why you have to be mindful to change things, which means you have to have conversations. All right, so, you know, when Contessa gets to talking about this divorce stuff, child, Scott gets in his bag. He's like, I'm gonna leave y'all, I'm gonna let y'all talk. And they like, Scott, sir, don't leave, don't go. So he reluctantly comes back. They get to talk about these DMs, child. And Simone is like, so what's with this DM situation? He's like, you know, they just slide on in there, you know. And, you know, I see him, I be like, oh, snap, you know. No, I don't. Continue, please, about these woes and this hard life you lead with all these titties, you know, and who knows what else in your DMs. Sir, you're not green. You're not new, brand new. You know what the hell is going on. Stop it. He really did try to play it like, I didn't know what a DM was when I first started this show. You know what they are now. Stop. Moving on. Okay, so the next package, we're headed backstage for a break. Eugene is trying to explain to Contessa the reason Scott came out. Because when they were leaving the stage, real funny, weird. Contessa's like, what's wrong with you? Why were you rushing the stage? Nobody was trying to attack you. You always think somebody trying to attack you. Crazy. You crazy. Y'all just had a whole life-changing conversation up there. What? Then when they get backstage, they sitting together, Eugene trying to explain to Contessa why Scott came on stage. He get up and go as soon as she start crying. That's the problem. Nobody stays in the room to finish a conversation clearly. Contessa, girl, go. If he has communication issues, girl, I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, so Eugene explains this or whatever. Scott gets up and walks off, and the ladies come in, surround Contessa. And, you know, Contessa's like, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And Jackie was like, well, let's just start here. You want to save your marriage. Jackie, I've been doing everything you told me to do. Tantrum. I've been doing everything you told me to do. You told me not to look happy on Instagram, so I did look happy because you wanted me to. Contessa, you are a grown-ass woman. Why do you need direction on how to behave in any fashion? I've tried everything. I've been perfect. It's not my fault. Doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it does take two. And besides the fact that you are both black and doctors and human and share 3 children, I don't really see any, and we're in the military. I think he was in the military. I don't really see any other way y'all are compatible. You know what I mean? I remember you saying earlier that, you know, you guys spent a lot of time apart when you first got married because you were deployed here. He was there. So, you know, you'll never get to know nobody, child, till you live with them for a consistent amount of time. And maybe after that fact, y'all were like, well, hell, we're married now. Plenty of people do it. Moving on. Sick of them. Tessa's going on. Toya takes her out. Funny enough, there's progress there. And they go to another room. Contessa's like, you know, I left. And Toya was like, yeah, you did. She was very compassionate. You did leave. But you don't come back till there's progress. Till there's a change. Seemed like it landed on Contessa. One can only hope. Then we shoot to some more backstage scenes. Quad is coming downstairs. They're about to go back to the stage for the next scene or the next segment. And she runs into Scott. She stops. She's like, Scott, I am not against you. I am Team Metcalf. I want you all both to win. I want your family to stay together. Because Eugene did throw a little shade, because when she was like, if I may, and he was like, please don't, not you. And then when they were backstage, and Quad was in the room, and he was like, Contessa, all I'm going to say is this. It don't matter what you tell us. It don't matter what you tell anybody else, what anybody else says. It's about you and Scott. And I'm sure Quad took that as shade, because it probably was. And, so that's why Quad, I'm sure, felt the need to say, look, I'm in both of y'all's corner. I want you both to win. I want you to both be happy. And he was like, I love you. He mad as hell. He was just mad at it 20 minutes ago. That also reinforces the fact that they don't deal with emotions. You know what I'm saying? You got to ride an emotion out, be it good or bad. The best thing to do if it's a bad one, embrace it. Love it like a little baby, and let it transmute into other energy, okay? But you have to acknowledge them, or they will, energy cannot be created or destroyed, okay? The energy goes somewhere, it will erupt. So this next package, we are talking about Simone and Jackie. And their friendship and how last reunion, child, they had fallen out. And they talk about them, over the season, how they've come back together, which I think is a good thing. But then Quad and Heavily interject that it's just fake. They don't talk like they used to. They're not really friends like they're trying to put on. I think they did it for the show. And that's all I'm going to say about it. And Simone was like, I mean, you're right. We're not back where we were. Jackie was like, last year, I just wish Simone would have spoken up when I was going through all of my stuff with people who aren't here right now. And Simone, and I felt every word, she was like, Jackie, I'm not going to play this game with you. I came to you in Mexico after that sorry-ass apology you gave Buffy. Because here's the problem. You were wrong. You can't tell that lady business and think it's okay. You are a medical professional that breaks, first of all kind of HIPAA laws, ethical laws, girl code laws. Like, really, Jackie? And then you got all fucking buff about it. Like, I'm apologizing. I'm done with it. And Simone was done with you. Unbelievable. She was like, Jackie, I came to your room. There were no cameras. There were no microphones. And I told you, basically, you showed your ass. You were wrong. And this does not represent who you are, because it does not. I was shocked when you did it. I'm sure America was shocked when you did it. Because otherwise you are so put together. Very reasonable. Know how to read a room, child. So Jackie was like, I know it was petty, and it was. The only reason she said that Heavenly was a good friend as Simone, because she knew it would get under Simone's skin, child. But good and goddamn well, you've been friends with that woman 21 years. And you've been friends with Heavenly, 8 at best? Simone. But hey, people get in their bag. We're human. It's part of this experience. Okay. And it was like, I think maybe we got to the meat or something here, child, and I agree. But Jackie did say, and Simone did agree, which I loved, because I do love them together as friends. She was like, I just expected you to go back to the group and tell them that wasn't Jackie. That was out of character for her. Just kind of state her case for her, which I'm still kind of like... And she used this analogy about how, Toya can say at you and you'll make an excuse for it. Y'all are so petty jealous. Are we in 8th grade? Y'all both about to be 8 years old. Really? Anyway, honey, that's their thing. And at least it's out in the open. Hopefully, this is the last we hear of this whole Buffy situation. Because at the end of the day, Jackie, you were wrong, 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 wrong. Okay? Love you. Moving on. So then Quad, interjects. She was like, well, what about Heavenly and Simone? Are they ever going to get back on track? They ain't been right, y'all. It's the whole Heavenly and Cecil thing. And then it really got crooked when Jackie was like, my friendship with Heavenly is just as important as my friendship with you is. Especially after the whole, Heavenly saying that Cecil need a job. Well, said that Simone said, all that child. It's a mess. Jackie and Andy and Quad brought up, Heavenly was really there for you when you were going through your thing with Cecil. This whole divorce thing brought Simone to tears. I think there's a crack in that Teflon child with Jackie, Heavenly, and Simone. I really like the three of them as friends. So I really hope this helped crush all of that up and leads them back on their road to, friends, because they funny together, child. Heavenly loud, Simone loud too, child. But Simone is so sweet. And Jackie, child, Jackie just a old lady. Doing this next and last package, child. The guys come out. And, Scott, child, wiping his head, child, the sweat, he can't take it. It's too much. So everybody sits down and, they're all rah for Scott, child. Like, we're here to help. And he's like, Scott, what's up? How you doing? He's like, I'm good. I feel better now. I got some brothers out here to help me out. And, Andy was like, Dr. Damon's not here because he's at home taking care of Damon Jr. I don't know what that situation is. I'm sure it's nothing dire because Heavenly's there. So, it must not be too bad. So, he goes around to all the guys, speaks to everybody. And he asks Cecil, what are the wife laws or something like that, child. Okay, so he's like, what are the rules, whatever, for being a good husband, Shay. So he's like, your wife's always right. Your wife's always right. Your wife's always right. Funny. Moving on. So Cecil's like, Andy, we did our best to keep Scott in check. Like with this whole life coach situation, we told him he was wrong. That was whack. And Cecil, and Curtis was like, so we're going to let him explain because he explained to us and, we were satisfied with that. And then Scott goes on to say, I talked to her after filming, and she's talking about this life coach. And, I guess I was being a little immature. And I was like, I don't want her to think I don't have a life coach. I'm going to tell her I have a life coach. So I'm going to tell her she's a woman. I'm going to tell her I've been doing it now for 6 months. But I made the whole thing up. Nah, I don't buy it. Old lady. Moving on. Just saying. Yeah. So pretty much ends there. We got one more part to this reunion. I have to say they may have gotten this one right. I've been entertained all 2 segments. So I'm sure the third one will be pretty good. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.